The first European language spoken in what is now Colorado was Spanish. This isn't the story of some conquistador wandering north in search of El Dorado. This is the story of a forgotten pioneer, a man who was a legend in his own time, but few people today even know he existed. This is a condensed biography of Mariano Medina, the founder of Fort Namaqua. Mariano Medina was born on February 20th, 1812, in Taos. At that time, Taos was claimed by Spain to be part of the province of Santa Fe de Nuevo Mexico. His father was a Castilian who immigrated to Mexico in the late 1700s, whereas his mother was Apache. Mariano was only 9 years old when Mexico declared its independence from Spain in 1821. Not long after coming of age, he went north into what is now Colorado to become a trapper and a fur trader. Mariano Medina is the type of Old West figure historians refer to as a mountain man. He was a rugged, self-sufficient individualist with immense skills and a superior understanding of the land. He worked as a trapper and a fur trader, receiving a salary from the American Fur Company. He also served as a scout and an interpreter for the United States Army for 11 years. During this time, he worked with a number of noteworthy people, including explorer John C. Fremont, Captain Kit Carson, General Albert Sidney Johnston, Officer Randolph B. Marcy, Territorial Governor of New Mexico Charles Bent, Trader William Bent, and fellow mountain man Joseph R. Walker. Mariano Medina really made a name for himself. He was one of the most celebrated frontiersmen of his day, on par with the likes of Kit Carson, Jim Bridger, and Jim Baker. A sketch of Mariano's life, published in the Rocky Mountain News on the occasion of his death, states that his life had, quote, been one of ceaseless activity, hazard, and privation. His Indian fights and skirmishes far outnumber his years, and his hairbreadth escapes seem almost miraculous, end quote. When Mariano first lived in what is now Colorado, he did so in the San Luis Valley, not far from the border with New Mexico. But in 1858, he and his family moved to the region that he really helped to shape. He moved with his wife, Marie Tacanecy Papin, their 5 children, and their servants to the area that would one day become Loveland, Colorado. There, he established Fort Namaqua, a trading post and a stage location on the Overland Trail, right where it crossed the Big Thompson River. Mariano reportedly spoke 13 languages, including Spanish, French, English, and a number of indigenous languages. He apparently had a preference for his first language, Spanish, though. According to legend, whenever someone passing through Fort Namaqua spoke Spanish, Medina would let them cross the river without having to pay the toll. But if they only spoke English, they'd be charged. Mariano didn't just establish a bridge with a toll at Fort Namaqua. He also set up a farm, a school, a post office, and a church at the settlement, all built in the Spanish style, surrounding a central plaza. This made him and his family the first Euro-American settlers in what is now Loveland, Colorado. Famously, Mariano flew a white flag over Fort Namaqua, declaring, quote, I am at peace with all nations, end quote. There is normally a white flag flying over the Medina family cemetery. Unfortunately, there wasn't one flying when we visited. So here's a dramatic reenactment we made later. Fort Namaqua soon became a major stop. In 1868, Generals Grant, Sherman, and Sheridan passed through the settlement on their way to Denver. That same year, Kit Carson visited Namaqua, with Mariano apparently introducing the famous frontiersman as a longtime friend to a crowd of curious settlers. As successful as Fort Namaqua had become, life was not without hardship for the Medinas. Between 1864 and 1872, 4 of their 5 children died. Then, in 1874, Mariano's beloved wife, Tacanecy, also passed away. He spent the last 4 years of his life in mourning, before ultimately dying on June 28, 1878, at the age of 66. All of the members of the Medina family were buried in this spot, Years later, their bodies were moved, somewhat controversially, to nearby Namaqua Park. This site remained a historic landmark, though. It was eventually restored to its former glory by the Loveland Historical Society, complete with new markers, informational signs, and artwork. Mariano and his family might not be buried here anymore, but you can really feel their presence upon visiting this place. Here, with a view of the beautiful Rocky Mountains, is where they intended to spend eternity, and is here where people still pay their respects to them to this day. The Medina Family Cemetery is located on the Namaqua Road, southwest of the spot where Fort Namaqua used to be. It's a quiet, contemplative spot in the southwest corner of Loveland, Colorado. On a clear day, you should be able to see the mountains beyond the neighborhood to the west of this spot. Hopefully they will get the white flag flying over this place again real soon. Thank you for watching. If you would like for us to do a follow-up video covering some of the legends surrounding Mariano Medina, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. Have a nice day.